So what better way might he at any point be respected, and what better way might his inheritance at some point go on? You know, with the center named after him. I'm astounded at only the incredible flood of affection individuals actually have for him. Also, it simply makes me feel great inside that. I was attempting to be playful about it. I was conversing with Rhonda, and she requested that every one of us make it happen. You know, it's intense. You know, you make wisecracks professionally. Rhonda, and Bernie were secondary school darlings at that exact same school not too far off. What's more, Bernie was awesome of us since he shut our show, correct? Since he was very much like. It's continuously captivating when you get uncovered stories from an earlier time, right? At the point when the set of experiences books open, something incredible consistently emerges. Hold on. Since today we will return close to 10 years and a half and investigate some tea that has recently been spilled. Feel that the meet between Bernie Macintosh and Steve Harvey was on the grounds that Steve Harvey was getting a great deal of organization love during the time and Bernie Macintosh not really. Better believe it. And afterward Bernie began to get it. In Hollywood, individuals continue to slam each other. Each new day accompanies another diversion. Something to that effect has reoccurred. Rhonda McCullough has asserted that Steve Harvey destroyed her better half's life. For those of you who actually are not captivated by the subject, are passing up the association between the two, which connected up numerous quite a while back. You can definitely relax, we won't leave you hanging. We should jump into the pool of information immediately. Notwithstanding, in a meeting with GQ back in 2003, it turned out to be exceptionally evident that things weren't awesome between the men, specifically Bernie and Steve Harvey. It was recommended that Harvey was desirous of Bernie's then ascent and, surprisingly, proposed that Harvey attempted to supplant him in 2000. Charlie's Holy Messengers. The majority of us definitely have some familiarity with the name Steve Harvey, if not the best. He is one of them to at any point exist as a performer-supplier to the fans. He is an American host, maker, and entertainer. Alongside being an entertainer, he is without a doubt momentous in all that he does. The Steve Harvey Morning Show and Family Fight are his most noteworthy triumphs, with a huge number of watchers from around the globe. Then again, Rhonda McCullough has carried on with a confidential existence, and not quite a bit of what emerged from her has been examined over the public media. She is a maker and a humanitarian. By profession. You should be considering the way that Rhonda is applicable to this subject. Indeed, she is associated with it through her late spouse, Bernie Macintosh. You want to know who Bernie Macintosh precisely is to get the most amusement out of the new tattle. Bernie Macintosh was an American entertainer and an astonishing joke artist. Bernie was the stage name of Bernard Jeffrey McCullough. Being an exceptional entertainer was the purpose for him acquiring prominence worldwide. He acted in a couple of films and had his show, The Bernie Macintosh Show, on TV from 2001 to 2006. The show acquired him 2 Emmy grant assignments. Presently the genuine inquiry shows up what's Bernie's connection with Steve Harvey? Indeed, they knew one another expertly. As currently referenced, they were exceptional comics. Steve Harvey has asserted that he and Bernie Macintosh have had great minutes together. The couple likewise had a couple of business visits together too. For what reason is the spouse of Bernie irate about his passing? For what reason does she suppose Steve Harvey demolished his life? The most unsettling truth we will uncover is that Bernie Macintosh took his goodbye from the world as his spirit left in 2008. The entertainer was experiencing sarcoidosis and the sickness became perplexing, which prompted his possible demise. The Bernie Macintosh show likewise got dropped on account of serious medical conditions on Bernie's side. From when Bernie used to go on visits, talk has created about some strain between Steve Harvey and Bernie Macintosh. The talk began to embed in the fans' minds during the First Lords of Satire visit. It was an American stand-up parody film which highlighted, obviously, Bernie Macintosh and Steve Harvey, and alongside them, D.L. Hughley and Cedric the performer too. Cedric the performer uncovered in a meeting that Steve and Bernie didn't come and had their disparities. Shannon Sharp facilitated the meeting on his Club Shade digital broadcast. He alluded to Steve and Bernie as extremely confident men, and that implies the two of them have their position and don't concur with the other individuals' perspectives. Cedric certified this as he said that the couple had their disparities, in spite of the fact that he brought up that they would, nonetheless, figure it out. Cedric said, "Definitely, no doubt. All in all, they were the sort of folks that the two of them dominant men, similar to the two of them they just saw it unique, you understand what I'm talking about?" Be that as it may, by the day's end, they had the option to traverse it. Cedric didn't stop here. He likewise eliminated the shade from the astounding reality that there should be another visit. Notwithstanding, it was cancelled in view of the quarrel between the two joke artists. We know since the pressure between the comics has been there over time, prompting a disheartening diversion misfortune. For the watchers, in any case, we actually don't have the foggiest idea why the very couple begrudged one another. The clock has struck the hour. It's time we investigate that. To Bernie Macintosh back in 2003, had a noteworthy meeting with GQ magazine where he let the questioner know that Steve Harvey was desirous of him. He considerably further faulted Harvey for intentionally keeping Bernie from accomplishing film jobs. These were a few major claims that Bernie put on Steve Harvey. The supposed comic responded to the US News guaranteeing that he was shattered on paying attention to this news. Steve Harvey declined any association in Bernie Macintosh not getting the jobs and rejected that he had any jealousy of Bernie. He said, "I was agitated with first since it simply wasn't accurate." The family fight have additionally let the writer know that he and Bernie had spent great days together, and he alluded to Bernie's assertions in the article as horrible. Steve Harvey informed the fans that he stood up to Bernie with respect to the article recently circulated, and after asking, Bernie wouldn't express out loud whatever was cited as his proclamations in the GQ magazine, Steve avowed that he trusted Bernie and failed to remember what was written in the piece of text. Harvey said, "Me and Bernie had a ton of great times together. And afterward this article in GQ emerged and put this load of horrible stuff in there." Honeybee said. He never said I needed to believe him at him. D.L. Hughley likewise went on the mic and told the watchers in a meeting that the comics were all thrilling one day and the following. They simply needed to head out in a different direction. Hughley likewise asserted that he was profoundly disheartened after hearing this. He informed me that Steve and Bernie had their different plans, which brought about the dropping of the visit. Nonetheless, he conceded that he was appreciative for every one of the minutes and time enjoyed with his kindred specialists, Hughley said. We were altogether energized, and the following day it simply didn't end up working. Bernie felt as he would have rather not done it any longer. He was on his excursion. Furthermore, the equivalent goes for Steve. Things occur or don't